This is your News Source Evening Bulletin for today, Thursday, the 19th day of September, 2019. Here is what we're tracking tonight. The chairman of the Guyana Elections Commission, Justice Claudette Singh, this morning informed President David Granger that the Guyana Elections Commission will be ready to host elections by the end of February next year. The president is now expected to name an election date based on the timeline that has been presented by the Elections Commission chair. The GCOM chair told the other commissioners that she would have been informing the president of her decision this morning. President Granger received the letter from the GCOM chairman just after 10.
The government is abiding by the Constitution in the sense that it has allowed the Election Commission, an autonomous agency, to do its work. I have received the letter from the Election Commission chairman, and I should be meeting my cabinet in a few minutes' time to discuss that letter. But the Constitution is very clear on the functions of the Commission. I would be in more grievous breach of the Constitution if I tried to intrude or interfere in the work of the Commission.
The opposition was pushing for elections to be held by the end of November, while the government-nominated commissioners put forward a timeline for elections by March of next year, with an earlier date possible. Stay with us, more coming up in just a moment.
Hi Guyana, I am Ambika Ramraj, Miss World Guyana 2018 and your GTT Pinktober Ambassador for 2019. Pinktober is GTT's flagship event aimed at raising cancer awareness and facilitating access to support for all Guyanese. In 2017, we raised $4 million. In 2018, we nearly tripled that amount. Thus, we have been able to continue our fight against cancer by providing support to multiple foundations such as the Giving Hope Foundation and GRPA. This year, our aim is to do even more, but we need your help. Become a corporate sponsor for Pinktober 2019. Visit our website www.gtt.co.gy/Pinktober 2019 for more information on how. GTT is in the business of saving lives, so join us now.
Experience bliss in an exclusive atmosphere as Universe boss Chris Gale celebrates his 40th birthday in Guyana.
Batman out and stunting. Chris Gale Kyle kick like dumpling.
40 Shades of Gale featuring Kes the Band live and in concert.
If you're coming down from the mountain, oh God,
At the Arthur Chung Conference Center on Saturday, 5th October.
piece of grass. Right now my vibes up are getting on. It's no regrets if tomorrow never comes.
Early bird tickets $3,000, general $4,000, stage front $10,000. 40 Shades of Gale. Party with the Universe boss Chris Gale and a star-studded cast of international cricketers. 40 Shades of Gale, featuring Kes the Band live and in concert at the Arthur Chung Conference Center on Saturday, 5th October.
All across our nation, Guyana, we see it in your lives. The future growing even stronger. GBTI, all eyes on Guyana skies as the voices of our people rise. Singing GBTI, Guyana's pride is in your eyes. GBTI, we see Guyana through your eyes.
Fuel it up and win. Let's divide. Fuel it up and win.
Yes, you heard right. Fuel up at Guy Oil $5,000 or more and enter to win. Tune in to Jumpstart on 94.1 FM Monday and Friday to receive your call to win big. Check Facebook for participating locations and more details.
Protect your fuel system, boy. High mileage and performance, boy. Fuel it up and win.
Welcome back. In a joint statement today, the diplomatic representatives of the US, the UK, and the European Commission issued a call for President David Granger to set a date for elections immediately. The joint statement came hours after the chairman of the Elections Commission indicated to the president that the commission will be ready for elections by February 2020. In its statement, the diplomat said it has taken note of the timeline put forward by GCOM and pointed out that by the government not calling elections by the 18th of September, which marked 3 months after the CCJ's ruling, it was now in breach of the Constitution. The Caribbean Court of Justice, while ruling back in July that a December 2018 no-confidence motion was valid, stayed clear of setting a date or timeline for elections. But the US, UK, and EU diplomats in their statement said the current situation comes at great cost to the people of Guyana. According to the diplomats, the prevailing political uncertainty undermines Guyanese institutions, compromises economic opportunities, and delays development across all areas, including infrastructure, education, health, and social services. The diplomats said the uncertainty also hinders their ability to support Guyana's development needs. Well, in response to that joint statement from the EU, UK, and EU missions in Guyana, President David Granger this afternoon declared that his government is not in breach of the Constitution, and the foreign missions need to allow the government of Guyana to resolve the political issues.
I am not in breach of the Constitution. As far as I'm concerned, in Guyana, the government of Guyana is complying with the Constitution. I have said what I've said about the receipt of advice from the chairman of the commission. It is impossible for the executive to run the elections. I will not allow the executive to intrude. I will not print ballot papers. I will not train returning officers. I will not detail polling stations. This is the job of an agency. Let the agency do its work.
President Granger said he is sure that the chairman and the rest of the Guyana Elections Commission will give him advice that will see credible elections with a credible list.
But the Constitution is very clear on the functions of the Commission. I would be in more grievous breach of the Constitution if I tried to intrude or interfere in the work of the Commission. So I had advised the foreign delegations or the foreign missions to allow the government of Guyana to resolve the issues. I have heard from the chairman of the Commission, and I'm very confident that the chairman, a very prudent and sober retired judge, will recommend to me a date which the Guyanese people are prepared to accept. But I cannot hold elections unless I receive advice that the commission is ready.
The Elections Commission chairman has informed the president that GCOM will be ready to host elections by the end of February next year. Today, the president was adamant that he has not breached the Constitution.
I am confident that the commission and the chairman, in her deliberate judgment, will give me advice which will ensure credible elections based on a credible list. And that's what I'm working towards.
Meanwhile, the Guyana Trades Union Congress, in a statement this afternoon, said in the strongest possible term it expresses concern about what it called the out-of-order statement issued by the US, the UK, and the European Mission in Guyana. The GTUC said when the 18th of September date was proposed by the opposition representatives to the CCJ, it was declined by the court. According to the trades union body, it is erroneous to advise Guyanese and the world that by surpassing the 18th of September, the government is currently in breach of the Constitution. The GTUC said that view is not only unfortunate but erroneous, risking the consequence of impugning the erstwhile reputation of the Caribbean Court of Justice and the esteemed justices who presided over the case. According to the GTUC, the diplomats are treading on dangerous waters. Well, close to 200 protesters of the opposition People's Progressive Party gathered outside the Pickets Hotel in a loud protest against President David Granger, while the president attended a luncheon of the Guyana Manufacturing and Services Association. Opposition leader Barra Jagdeo and PPP presidential candidate Irfan Ali were part of the crowd of protesters that blocked off the main entrance to the hotel compound.
For an extensive period, he has used GCOM as his excuse for naming the elections. Today, the chairperson of GCOM has relieved him of this excuse. But notwithstanding, I just saw a statement from the international community, and they spoke about him being unconstitutional now. International community, the statement, a joint statement, just came out, and they said it comes at a great cost to Guyana. And clearly everyone sees this, the whole country excepting this corrupt cabal that we have headed by Granger.
This is the barrier that is protecting a dictatorship in this country. Yes. This barrier is protecting a dictatorship. This barrier is keeping out peaceful people from standing up against a dictatorship. That is why these barriers are here. Today, this is the barrier that is safeguarding and securing a dictatorship in this country. That is what is happening today.
The entire area around the hotel was cordoned off by the police. At one stage during the protest, the presidential motorcade pulled up, but as the protesting crowd turned its attention to the motorcade, it turned around and used another entrance to the hotel. Inside the hotel, opposition members of parliament Juan Edgel and Nigel Dharamlal led a protest in the Savannah suite of the hotel as the president started his address.
And I discovered this crime that is volunteerism. So I hope the intellectual authors are able to bring an end to the process that we have started.
Eventually, GMSA official Ramesh Duku went to the microphone and appealed to the protesters to not be disrespectful. Edgel and company eventually left the meeting while shouting about what they consider the illegalities of the government. As the president started his speech, he said he hopes the authors of the protests could finish what they have started. On the labor front, 1 day of strike action was all that was needed for the BOSAI bauxite company in Linden to give in to demands of the workers. After initially offering the workers a 6% increase in their salaries for 2019 and a 6.5% increase for next year, the company increased an offer to 7% for this year and 7% for next year, as the workers threatened to stay off of the job. The management at BOSAI met and held discussions with representatives from the workers' union NASI late yesterday. The workers were informed of the new offer today and agreed to return to their jobs by tomorrow morning. Yesterday, scores of workers walked off the job at the Linden mining operations, grinding work in a number of departments to a halt. The workers said they had made it clear to the company months ago that they would not have been accepting the 6% increase. They said they are much more comfortable with the 7% increase that has now been offered. Let's tell you now that the Guyana National Road Safety Council has joined hands with the Chronoco Safety Solutions Company and ExxonMobil in a joint campaign to promote safer use of the country's roadways. Speaking at the launching of the initiative this morning, the CEO of Chronoco Solution, Latoya Jack, said the organization was moved by the tragic death of the young girl in a road accident at Agricola a few months ago. She said the Share the Road campaign will focus on the way forward.
Next year is going to mark the end of the UN Decade of Action for Road Safety, 2010 to 2020. And so plans for 2021 and 2020 to 2030, those plans are going to start next year. The report that we're looking to generate and the information we're looking to gather from this campaign, we're hoping to feed into that and into those plans so that when we have for 2010 to 2020 one developmental goal that has to be reached in order to make sure the country is going well and achieving the goals that are necessary for the international level.
Coordinator of the Guyana National Road Safety Council, Ramona Durgan, said indeed road safety is everyone's business and citizens need to remember that.
Road safety is not just central, it's decentralized, it's all over the country. It's not just for the one set of people, it's for everybody, because road safety is not a political thing, it's not a race thing, it's a humanitarian effort. So when we look at road safety, we look at it's our way of playing our humanitarian part in our society. Or even if you're not a Guyanese, it's playing the humanitarian part in the society that you are being dwelling.
The Share the Road campaign is set to run until the end of this year, and it will see the Chronoco Safety Solutions Company coordinating a number of road safety events and gathering data on road safety issues in Guyana. The Exxon company has pledged full sponsorship of the activities. Across the region is coming up next.
Tired of long lines? Register with MyGTT at mygtt.co.gy. That's mygtt.co.gy to view and pay your bills from anywhere. Enter to win an Amazon gift card worth $25 or a bounty voucher worth 5,000 Guyana dollars when you sign up today. GTT, do more.
Lights,
camera,
action.
The stars are here again.
Friday, October 4th at Palm Court.
It's the annual champion party.
Featuring the champion himself,
DJ Bravo.
Introducing the Caribbean's new pop sensation,
Ariella Alexa.
A full practice session
with GBM Neutron.
Music by Trinidad's sexiest DJ,
DJ Anna.
Along with the Boom DJs, Gully Raz,
Selector Diamond,
DJ Aquilo,
and DJ Hudson.
Champion Party.
Friday, October 4th at Palm Court.
Securing the best healthcare facility for you and your family is important. At Balwansing Hospital, we take pride in giving you the best healthcare at unbeatable prices. We offer a 24-hour emergency care, a well-equipped ambulance, the best group of international doctors. Whatever your medical needs are, we are here to make sure you're taken care of like family. From eye care to dental service, the best, most experienced gynecologist, pediatric care, skin care, well-trained radiologist, and a trauma center. Our goal is to get you healthy so you can live a healthier life. Balwansing Hospital, caring for you and your family by offering healthcare at unbeatable prices. Live, love, and enjoy life. Call 226-4279 or visit us at 314 East Street, Georgetown. Balwansing, best healthcare at unbeatable prices.
We are legions of men standing strong, but never too proud to stoop and help someone. We must send a clear signal to all. Do right, walk in upright ways, knowing that's what being a man is all about. And ever aware that things will only get worse when good men do nothing. Stand strong. Be the one to live right.
Across the region right now, Human Rights Watch says a special Venezuelan police unit has been targeting and killing young men in poor neighborhoods as President Nicolas Maduro's administration seeks to clamp down on the opposition. The rights group released a report on Wednesday documenting 9 cases involving the Special Action Forces. Human Rights Watch contends that the individuals were tortured or executed as part of a potentially larger pattern of extrajudicial killings taking place under the guise of resistance of authority. The report is the second in recent months to allege human rights violations by the police unit. Still in the region, members of parliament in Austria have dealt a blow to the EU's landmark trade deal with South America's economic bloc by demanding a government veto on the deal. The draft free trade agreement took 20 years to complete, and the EU has described it as its biggest so far. France and Ireland have already warned that they will reject the deal if Brazil does not do more to curb fires in the Amazon rainforest. Austrian groups say the deal must do more to tackle environmental issues. All but one of Austria's main parties rejected the deal in a parliamentary subcommittee, from the far right to the center left. Mercosur includes 4 South American economies: Brazil, Argentina, Uruguay, and Paraguay. A 5th member, Venezuela, is currently suspended. And finally tonight, international news. France and Italy are calling for a new system to automatically redistribute migrants across the EU as the number of people entering Europe surges. The current system, the officials said, was particularly unfair to Italy. Hundreds of migrants arrived in Italy and Greece this week, many traveling by boat from Libya and Turkey. On Tuesday, 791 migrants arrived in Greece. The sharp rise in recent days has led to issues at centers and Greek islands that receive and house individuals during the assessment process. In one part of the country, a center built to cater for up to 3,000 people is currently housing more than 10,000. And that's your News Source Evening Bulletin for tonight. I'm Gordon Mosley reporting.